The flash crash in the ES today was news driven, but was it predictable? Yes, it was, and I'll show you how. Let's get right to it, okay? The first chart that I'm showing you here is the 1 minute of the ES today. And as you can see, it's fairly normal looking throughout the day. And then once we start getting over here, past, oh, there it goes. Super crash, all right? So from 28.25, there's 25 points. Oh my God, 25 points. You've got 35 points. So basically you're looking close to 40 points in 3 minutes. 40 points in 3 minutes. And you say, well, I had no idea that news was coming out. Basically what happened is this company that thought that maybe they were going to find a vaccine for COVID came out and the news wasn't good. I don't know if it was all junk or a hoax or whatever, but that vaccine is not looking the way it was. So you say, well, how did I know that news was going to come out? Well, the market knows. All right, not always, but sometimes the market knows, and I'm going to prove it to you. So if you're not using a tool like Bookmap, I don't know what you're doing, but it's here and it's available. And I need to tell you something. When you're trading the ES, okay, you're trading the entire stock market. I mean, not the entire stock market. You're trading the S&P 500, but there's more to it than that, all right? If you're just looking at the ES, you're hurting your ability to trade because there's bigger markets with more volume that have more play into what drives price. All right, you've got the QQQ ETF, you got the SPY ETF, you've got others, but those are the two biggest, and those are the ones that you need to be paying attention to. Now, the SPY had a small sliver of sellers lined up where the crash happened, so it could have given you some clue, but the big dog was the QQQ today. And this is Bookmap, all right? If you've never seen this, it's going to look weird, but it's going to blow your mind if you stick with me. All right, so the red bubbles are the sellers. The blue bubbles are when the buyers are in control. Over here to the right, you've got the order book. The red is obviously the sellers. The blue are the buyers lined up in the order book. Those are the limit orders resting in the book waiting. The highlighted areas on the map is the heat map letting you know how heavy the limit orders are in that area and how long they've been waiting there. So what we're looking at right now is just kind of the normal part of the day. This is up to 8:50. And then if we scroll over, all right, if we start taking a look at more of this chart, you'll see what happens. So you can see that when there's a heavy level of sellers, not always, sometimes they act as a rocket fuel to keep going up, but a lot of times they will stop the market from moving, right? They'll act as resistance. This is real support and resistance, not a line on a chart that you think is support and resistance. All right? So let's get right into the thick of it. Boom. So what in the hell happened here? This is not normal. This is not what you see all the time. Just this solid wall of sellers, okay? And they're just sitting there, and look how far in advance they warned you. They warned you at 9:06 something big was going to happen. The play didn't happen till like 11:30, 11:40, something like that. 9:06, they're warning you something is up. Something has changed, all right? And so we're going to play this at super speed, 128 times speed, which actually is going to take a minute to get through here. But it's important to watch how this works, okay? And so you've got this wall of sellers, and like I said, sometimes they act as fuel, and sometimes they act as the resistance, but you always know that something big is up because you can see it. You're not just looking at bars and saying, well, this bar went up, so this bar went down before it, and this is a special up and down bar that means that you go long. All right, that's nonsense. All right, the real deal is buyers and sellers. All right, so you get the point of what happened at 9:30. Now let's move up into, let's go to about 11:21 here. I'm telling you, it's worth sticking around till the end of this video to see what I'm about to show you. Okay, so this is 11:21. We're getting close to the big event. Now, what has happened? This is where I showed you earlier, was this section over here. Okay, let's get this tooltip out of the way. This section over here came up, ate through that initial block of sellers, came up to the big thick line. This is why it's important to know how long they've been resting there. These guys are serious. They've been there for a while. They've been there for almost an hour at the 10 o'clock, right? And then by the time the trade happens, they've been in there for multiple hours. Okay, they're serious sellers. After the buyers come up and eat through some of those sellers, what happens? They get rejected. They come back. Sellers come back in. They get rejected. They come back. Huge selling right here. They get rejected. Okay? And you don't know that the news is going to pop and that everything is going to go nuts. But why in the world would you be looking to go long here after all of that? There's just no reason for it. And if you do go long, that's on you. Let's take a look at this. 11:44 is when the big event pops. So we're going to push this forward to 11:41, and then we'll watch it from there. Let me show you something else. We scroll down, watch this area. See how long this light shaded area has been in here? All day long, since the beginning of the day at 2:10. All right, there's not a lot of them. There's 6,700 compared to 22,000 just at this one level, plus all these other boys that have been sitting in here, 18,000 right above that. I mean, it's a no-brainer here. Price rejects again. And then that's all she wrote, right? I mean, this is that huge area. I've got it condensed down on Bookmap, but the drop here is significant. And you can see there's no buying here. I mean, that's clear as day that there's no buying. It made it into this level, no buying, all selling. Those guys are going to get hit. And what do you see on the chart? You see that. See that? That's all you see. There's an EMA here. Maybe we're going up. Trend's been up all day. Looks like we're starting to climb. I think I'm going to go long here. Oops. Chart tells you nothing. This tells you everything. I'm going to pop it forward so I don't keep you here all day, and then we'll see some of the aftermath of what happens. I told you about that 210 price level. So keep that in mind here. Yeah, we're going to go about as forward as we can. You still see there's zero buyers coming in. So here's the aftermath. Straight down into that 210. That is the only significant source of buyers after it crushed this earlier level. Not a single buyer on the way down there. These guys are later. Comes down, then comes back up, and that's where these couple of buyers are here. But it bounces, rejects right off that level. Comes up, all the sellers are still hanging out. Still too dangerous to go long. Comes back down, retest. It's going to bounce up and bounce around and then eventually go down. Why wouldn't you want to know this information, man? I'm going to leave you the link to Bookmap in the description below. At least go to their website and check it out. It is not cheap. It is not cheap, but neither is losing at trading. That's more expensive. All right, guys, that's it for the day. Please leave a comment in the section if you like this video, because I think this is mind-blowing for a trader that's never seen something like this. So let me know.